Hey guys, welcome back to BachMakers, your favorite show that recaps all things Bachelor Nation. Before we continue with this episode, we're going to ask you very nicely, Michael, please deliver the news.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And share.
In that order, or reverse the order. It doesn't matter to us. Just do those things. Helps us. Enjoy this episode. We'll see you in the episode. Just keep watching. All right. Bye.
Do a little ASMR intro.
I'll go with your new mic. I don't like that.
I'm up.
All right.
Hold on.
Sorry. I'll do it again. Okay, just regular. I'm up.
Okay. He's stuck.
And hello, hi, how are you? Welcome back to BachMakers, full OG crew. Michael is back with some new equipment. How's the new mic feel?
Michael, you mean Mike? Cool.
Because the audio sounds great. Everyone listening to the podcast, they probably think it's a new person. People who only listen to the podcast are like, "Who is this guy?"
Lock them doors and turn them lights down low.
And for now, you have to listen to Michael's voice clean and crisp for the rest of this show's history.
Sorry.
It's good to have you back, Michael. We missed you for the second half of last week. Any takeaways, any notes on how we did as a show, as a viewer?
Oh, I was gonna say, in my absence playing basketball, the team, we lost by 14 and I did not score. Terrible game.
No.
So it was because I was so focused on what's Joey doing right now? So that's probably why. That's probably why.
Although Bailey's babes were going to fight without a coach.
It was good. I would shout out Grace Curiano.
Shout out Grace.
Senior year prom day on filling in, stepping in on the role.
I didn't even think about that.
So shout out prom date for stepping in and finishing out that. So
that's awesome.
But yeah, no, it was good. It was nice. It was cool having another, being in studio too, like her being in studio. Which I'll be down in Indy sometime, so we can do that again.
Yeah. I mean, when you move back and we can make this your full-time gig and we can actually get a studio, it's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be great. You just quit your job and become a batchmaker full-time. Sooner rather than later. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. All right, another thing before we get into league updates, team updates. I want to give a shout out to the Batchmakers, the Batchmaker listeners. The podcast has been doing great. If you're just listening to audio, you don't want to see our faces. It's totally fair. I wouldn't want to look at us either. We have been hovering around like top 50 for the entertainment news category, the very competitive, exclusive entertainment news category on, I believe, Apple Podcasts. I'm not happy with it because I think we can do better. I'm not satisfied. I'll say that. I'm happy with it. I'm not satisfied. Hey, Mike. Job finished? What's there to be happy about?
What's there to be happy about?
Top
finish?
10.
I don't think so.
Top 10 is what we want. So everyone, if you're watching
top
or
2,
listening,
not 2.
However, go give us a little 5-star rating. Say nice things about us if you want to. Or if you hate it, that's fine. Whatever. But we're coming for that top 10 spot. We will not be satisfied until then. But also, thank you very much for listening. We appreciate it. This show has been really, really fun to grow with you guys. So thank you. But let's get into it. League updates. Michael, you have 84 points. The Bailey's Babes have 84 points. The Wise Gals have 68. And Team Lizzie has 53. So the floor is yours. What would you like to say? You have two episodes basically to recap for your team. But what's the state of your team?
This week, I think we had some big highs. We had some highs and we had some lows. It was the red wedding, but we still had 2 one-on-ones. And so we cannot complain about this week. We lost 3 people. I'm surprised Jess lasted this long. I think if we go back to literally the very first episode, I was considering dropping Jess. Remember, she was on the trade block. She was, anybody that wanted to take her could have taken her for a bag of dark chocolate chips, right? I don't know why I'm just craving some dark chocolate right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jess is gone. R.I.P. Caitlin. Caitlin deserves better, but I also don't see her on Paradise, so I think that's the last we see her. But shout out Caitlin. And then Leia, I'll see you on Paradise. So I'll see you in your DMs. So like we'll see we'll see each other again sometime soon. So just off the team and off the team for long. But
It's not a goodbye to see you later.
yeah. But the two people we have left, Kelsey T and Maria, I'm liking it. I'm not loving it. I don't know. I don't know if I see a winner out of either of those, but just hoping they can hold off the forces coming to attack us.
Yeah. So you have a 16-point lead with, I believe there's around 10 weeks. So with about 4 weeks remaining.
Yeah.
I personally, humble opinion, I think it's over. I think you've won. That being said, I believe I have the strongest two remaining. Each team here has two people remaining. I think I have the strongest group.
Yeah.
Because you have Maria and Circles. I think I think Circles is kind of on the chopping block. I don't think she's as strong as the other two. Lizzie has Rachel and Daisy. I think Rachel probably the weakest left. Daisy probably the strongest left in terms of chances of winning.
I think Rachel and Kelsey T are pretty close on chopping block.
But Kelsey T's got that one-on-one.
Yeah, but honestly,
did Rachel have the one-on-one?
Rachel had one last week, correct? But Rachel was like the last one to get the rose tonight. I don't know.
Pretty even. It's pretty even.
All right, fairly even. And then I think I have two strong. I think I don't know if I have the winner, but Jen had a great episode, MVP.
Nice. She had a great episode.
And then Kelsey A, who is my team captain, I asked for permission from Autumn. I said, if I'm going to move on and have a new captain moving forward, I want you to choose who it is. And she chose Kelsey. I did reach out to Kelsey today, and she scared me a little bit with her response. She said, I hope I don't let you down, which was kind of concerning. I wanted a little more like rah-rah speech, like, I got you. She was like, I hope I'm not upsetting you. And I was like, maybe we'll work on like the verbal leadership. But she's going to lead from the front, lead by example. So I think I have the strongest two. I don't know if it's enough to close the gap, unfortunately. I almost need both of Michael's girls to go home next week if that's going to happen. And I don't think that's going to happen with Maria.
You need a lot of smooches too.
A lot of smooches.
A lot of
and I need more one-on-ones. I need a lot of things to roll my way. But overall, this week, very proud of how the Wise Gals performed. So can't really complain. Yeah. Lizzie, what do you got to say about your team?
Well, I will say that I am sad about Lexi leaving. I wasn't concerned until she decided to have that talk with Joey. And then I kind of figured that she was going to self-eliminate. But I don't know. I feel good enough with Daisy and Rachel left. Like, I feel confident. I don't know.
It feels like you're sitting with a good hand with Daisy. I mean, Daisy's in cruise control at this point. I will say, didn't expect your team to get to 50 points, so that's impressive by itself. So I'll clap it up for that. Well done.
Thank you.
You're still in the race.
Does anybody have the score sheet up?
I have it right here. Yeah.
What's the
you want the highest point?
I want the highest. Who has scored the most points in like the top three? Like who has top three most points? Because I think is Jess still in there even with being eliminated? Because Jess after the first 3 weeks was only behind Daisy. Okay,
so right now, the highest point getter is actually Kelsey.
Kelsey A is the
Kelsey A, 20 points.
The smoocher.
Right behind her is Jen with 19 and a half. And then the third highest would be Circles.
What? Kelsey. She's got more. Oh, because Maria got.
She has 19. She has 19 points. She's Daisy and Rachel have 17 and a half each. And the other ones are all kind of. Maria has 18. So Maria has slightly more.
Wow.
So the top 5 are Kelsey, Jen. I have the 2 highest.
I would not think Jen has the second most.
Jen puts up numbers. You got
smoochers. Yeah, smoochers.
I got smoochers.
Yeah, smoochers.
But then my team, I don't have anyone else in double digits outside of those 2. So
no depth.
No depth. High volume. But yeah, I have the 2 highest point getters in the league, which is crazy. But yeah, that's where we're at. Obviously, the undrafteds are out of it. They're sitting with their 15 points, and they will stay like that for the rest of the league. So, all right. Before we get into obviously the full recap, let's do Joey's Jawn of the week. Lizzie, do you have Joey's Jawn and Cringe of the week for this week or no?
I don't know if I have a cringe of the week. I think I have a Joey's Jawn of the week.
Okay, let's let Michael go first, and we'll kind of go around the horn here. Michael, who's Joey Jawn?
My Joey Jawn of the week. I didn't like a lot of people today. Honestly,
It was a weird episode.
I don't think anybody had a great week, but I don't think I've given it to her in a while. So I'm going to shout out my own girl, Maria. Back in Canada, back in her home country. Have to give it to her. MVP of my team this week. And honestly, I don't know. Like she's just like, I don't know. I was just smiling. Every time she's on screen, I'm just like, she's so perfect. We can talk about, the speculations of what we think if Bachelorette season, but oh my, I want it so bad. I haven't won anything more in my life besides a lot of other things.
Marie killed it this week. She really did. I tweeted out, I think my direct quote was, "It's wild how cool Maria looks," or what did I say? You know how they're like, oh, it's like you have like an obscure opinion, and it's like it's crazy how good like pineapple on pizza tastes when there's not someone yapping in your ear saying it sucks. That's how I feel about Maria. I said, it's crazy how cool Maria is when there's not a jealous girl in your ear saying she sucks. So when you get rid of Sydney, you get rid of Jess, we can finally just see clearly how cool Maria is, which we've been saying. We've been saying for a while. Maria's awesome. I would argue one of the cooler contestants that like I would want to hang out with the most. But we can talk more about Maria later because obviously she had her one-on-one. My Joey's Jawn, I'm going to give it to another Bailey's Babe. I'm going to give it to Circles because I made a prediction last week. I felt like she was going to get the one-on-one this week. My prediction was that she was going to go home on that one-on-one. I really felt it coming. I didn't think they had the connection as strong as they obviously do. And she said, "Hey, screw you, Wyatt. Watch this." And again, we've said on the show multiple times, there's never been a winner that we know of to have an entirely circled Instagram feed. And she's attempting to change that. She's attempting to make history. So I can tip my cap to that. So I'll give a shout out to her for Joey's Jawn of the week. Lizzie, who you got?
I'm going to have to give it to Maria.
Fair. Bailey's Babe sweep. Joey's Jawn.
Yeah. It just felt right. Like she did carry it, especially like with having the dress date or the shopping date. Yeah. I feel like that really sealed it for me.
Yeah. I mean, Maria put on a clinic. This was probably her best episode because she wasn't dealing with any drama. So I can appreciate that. All right. We're going to do Cringe of the Week. Lizzie, if you don't have one, we'll let you go. And if you have anything, just let us know. All right, Mike, you want to go? I have 2 here. So do you want to go first? So then, perfect.
Then we just alternate. But it's the same person. And it's kind of in and of the same thing. Actually, mine's not the same person, but it's kind of the same thing.
Okay, I'll do one then. That's clearly
you go first. We'll go back and forth.
Okay, first one I have. This one's just a basic one. It's when Joey entered. It was basically the whole group date, but when Joey entered the night portion of the group date, and everyone just had like the worst experience ever. Everyone was so low energy. Everyone felt super awkward.
How's everyone doing? Good. Excited for tonight. Thought it was a very fun day. I hope all of you guys enjoyed it too. Everyone feeling okay? I really believe it.
And Joey can sense that very quickly. He's done it a few times this season where he's like, "Oh, you guys aren't having it right now. I don't believe your energy right now." It was a little awkward tension a little bit. So not really like a cringe of the week, but just something to an awkward moment, I would say.
Yeah, I definitely think the producers added to that by, putting a little extra added silence that they normally wouldn't have if It wasn't, tensions from the group date, everybody wanting a one-on-one, everything like that. But my first one was the group date when they're, earlier that day when they're walking around playing different games. I think they were playing like hockey, like street hockey. And Rachel just goes up and kisses Joey.
That's right. Oh, great.
I don't know.
You didn't like that?
I think it's so cringy when one, you're in public and you're on a date with 6 other girls and him, and you just go up there out of no blue, like out of the blue. He's not initiating it, and you're just going up there and kissing him. I think it's just cringy to me. Like if I'm in Joey's shoes, I don't find that hot at all. I find that a little cringe. Like relax. There's enough Michael to go around. Like you don't have to be so like. It's like kind of possessive, right? I think that's the perfect word. It's like you're mine. I don't know. I just think it's a little selfish and cringy. And it happened again later on, which I'll just make this a 2-parter. Happened again later on with Jen when she was trying to teach piano to Joey when they're literally sitting right freaking there. Like, come on. Like, really? You knew what you were doing there. You knew what you were doing.
Yeah, she does.
And I just got to imagine that it was it's awkward for everybody else, and that's why they were probably cringing, and I cringed when the other Bailey babes are cringing. Actually, none of them. When other Bailey's babes are cringing, I cringe.
Yeah, you work as one. You feel their pain. I do think it is a ballsy move. Just for from experience, it's almost impossible to go in for a kiss not knowing 100% you're getting a kiss.
Yeah.
Like that's a ballsy. I've never once in my life been like 50-50 shot this works here and then go for a kiss. That's crazy. It has to be 100%.
I mean,
I think I'm shooting 100% of my life on kisses. Never missed. Undefeated, never lost. Where you commit to a kiss?
Yeah, I mean, not that I remember. Yeah, I mean, that I remember. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, roles reversed. Like nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that roles reverse except maybe Aaron B. Maybe, but
but we love him for it.
But that's Aaron B. We love him because of that.
Yeah, we love him. The other cringe of the week I had. Sorry, this is a Bailey's babe, but she's gone. It's from Jess. Jess, just the last 3 weeks, has somehow found a way to fall more in love with Joey while also complaining that she doesn't get to talk or see Joey. Yeah. Last week, she was like, I'm going to tell him I'm falling in love with him. Even though we haven't been able to see each other for the last 2 weeks, I'm going to let him know. And then this week, she said, oh man, I really am falling for you, after also not talking or speaking to each other since. And there was a zoom in on Joey's face when Jess confessed that she was falling in love with him.
I am falling for you. I know we haven't even had like a one-on-one yet, and I want that time so bad.
He was as confused as America was. It pressed in on his face, and he was trying so hard not to break. Because he knew where this was going. I don't think he would have sent her home in that moment if she didn't say that. I think he would have waited till the rose ceremony. But the fact that she came out and was like, I'm falling in love with you, he knew he couldn't answer that and lie and like lead her on a little bit more just to get to the rose ceremony. So he was like, all right, it's over. But yeah, Jess, you had a good run. Probably see you in paradise.
I mean, yeah, well, for sure, paradise. That's a layup. That's the most layup ever. I'm surprised she made it this long, but yeah. I mean, we're definitely gonna be seeing less cringe of the weeks, I believe, going on because the 6 people we have left aren't that cringy.
Yeah. It's been the season by itself has been a very hard season to find cringes of the week.
It's
because
easier with
it's
dudes.
been it was much easiger with the guys. Yeah. Because we can put ourselves in their shoes.
And then still call them out of their cringiness.
Yeah. All right. You got some topics you want to get to before we get into the episode recap?
Yeah. So there was a comment on the Golden Bachelorette post about pretty much it was saying that they should do a Golden Bachelorette that's all in the same place, like all in the same city or metropolitan area, so they don't have to relocate. That was
I
kind
did
of
see that. Yeah.
Faith's big thing where she didn't want to like relocate. They have family, they have, grandkids and everything like that. Like it makes sense. This is similar to what Love is Blind does. Love is Blind does different cities. So like season 1, they were in, I don't know, season 3, they were Seattle. Season 2 was like Chicago. And they like get all the contestants are from one city. And so, people don't have to relocate. You can start dating somebody or get engaged to somebody that's in the same city as you. And I think it's a great idea for the Golden Bachelorette, but it is kind of impossible to pull off because I just don't think they can find that many Golden Bachelors that are
Yeah.
willing to do this process all in the same metropolitan area. Like I mean, I know some cities have a lot of people, but like of single, 60 plus year olds that are willing to like go on TV. I don't know, but
Could
it's
they
a great,
do?
it could work.
I think I think it could work. I like the idea. I think they could do smaller, almost mini seasons.
Yeah.
Like one lead, 10 cast members. And then you could film, it could be like a 4-episode arc and then have like multiple like mini series almost along if they wanted to go that route. I like what they're doing. I like keeping it big and have it play out over a longer season. But if they wanted to do small and make it easier for just like location wise, because I think that's the biggest reason why Faith probably won't be the Golden Bachelorette is because she seems very tied. And all of these people, we've talked about it on the show a billion times. If you're applying for the Golden Bachelor, Bachelorette, you're 60, 70 years old. You have roots established someplace. It's going to be hard to uproot that and go somewhere else. So, but I like the idea.
Yeah. My one thing on the mini seasons or like, something like that with only 10 contestants, I feel like people get into it because it's kind of lengthy and because there's so many and it goes down to so little people. They get
and you get to know them.
Ellen and Faith. Yeah, you get to know them more. But yeah, and then my other thing was actually going off of Love is Blind. That just came out like last week. I haven't started it, so no spoilers, please. But so Love is Blind gets released because it's on a streaming service on Netflix. It gets released different than The Bachelor or Bachelorette, right? Bachelor's 1 episode per week for how many 10 weeks or whatever, 12 weeks, I don't know. But Love is Blind, there's they release the first third of the show, or maybe even like almost half of the show in the first weekend, right? Like a Friday morning, whatever. And so it gives people opportunity to binge it all in 1 week, right? And then I think a week, maybe even 2 weeks later, they release the next 3-4 episodes. And then a week or 2 later, they release the last episode or last 2 episodes, right? And then they'll do like a reunion in like a month. And I think that's a genius way of doing it, where you can like binge the show like that over a weekend or over even a week-ish time. And, because it's Netflix, they can easily promote it to where it's shown when you log into Netflix. If you watch reality TV, Love is Blind is going to pop up for you, right? Like if I open Netflix right now, Love is Blind is going to pop up for me. So I don't know. I just feel like that's a good way of doing it. Obviously, ABC doesn't have like a streaming service it's tied to, so it can't really do that. But I think if it were to go to the streaming service way, which I think everything's going there, I think the Bachelor kind of the way they do it would make sense in this kind of fashion.
Yeah, it is. It is interesting. It will be interesting to see where they go long term because the only things, and I think you're on the same page here, the only things we watch live are sports and The Bachelor. There's really nothing else I watch live television. And
100%.
It's not like The Bachelor is live. I mean, it's very pre-recorded. It would be interesting if they like something they could do is like release the first 3 episodes or like have like a crazy or like at least do a double feature. Like night 1, you just meet these people. What if they release the first 3 episodes and then go week by week? So like, all right, we get to know these women a little bit and then let's slow it down towards the end.
I think that's what Love is Blind does. They do like 4 episodes and then they do like 2 episodes and 2 episodes. So they slow it down, but they let you binge it. And I think, I don't know how many episodes are out right now. But like it ends on kind of a cliffhanger. And I think
Yeah.
you could definitely get some good cliffhangers. Like if, this season of The Bachelor, right? If it's all in however many long hour episodes of film time, you could definitely get some good cliffhangers throughout of, some points where it was like, whoa. So,
I do think, though, The Bachelor has built also The Bachelor has a community that has been growing and been building since way before streaming services were around. So that's one thing they have going for them. And the discourse on Twitter, like probably Facebook too, but people like watching it live and then engaging with it with other people at the same time. And I think that is an appeal for The Bachelor. Like I love going on Twitter during the episodes because you see, I hate watching it later because then I can't experience it like that, which I think that's something you miss a little bit with those streaming shows. You still get a little bit, but it's delayed. I do think there's something about watching it with other people, like knowing everyone's watching the same time. So
yeah,
but
and
something to keep in mind.
With rose ceremonies, it kind of has that week by week. There's a rose ceremony every week, so it's kind of like that. But I don't know if there's ever going to be a spinoff. They could experiment with that. I think could work.
Yeah. All right. Last thing before we do a full episode recap, I want to point something out. This is kind of a tease, kind of not. But on Thursday, on this YouTube, on the Good Time YouTube channel, we're putting out. I had an interview with Bachelor Data, however you want to say it. She runs her name's Susanna. She runs an awesome Instagram page. If you don't follow it, go check it out. But she basically breaks down the Bachelor franchise with all analytical things. Like she does screen time, who's getting kisses, who's most likely to go home based on a lot of different stuff. And so quick tease, I will give you something she pointed out to me is that if someone gets their first one-on-one during week 6 and 7, it's almost a guarantee that they will not be the winner. It's almost a kiss of death.
That kind of
and this isn't a shot. This isn't a shot at your team because it could be different.
Yeah.
But she said if they get their first one-on-one in week 6 or 7, that no one has ever won. So circles Maria, kiss of death, maybe.
I mean, that makes sense because think about it. Soon the second one-on-ones are coming, Yes. And so if you just get your one-on-one that late, odds are you're not getting a second one-on-one. So makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So make sure you check out that full interview. It was actually really cool talking to her. She is very smart in the way she handles it. Her brand's super cool. So go ahead, check that out. That'll be on Thursday morning, People Person Podcast episode. Go. All right. Episode recap. We open up with a very interesting opening with Joey just kind of being very real with the audience. This was something I don't think I've really seen on this show before because he was very vulnerable, very open, and it almost didn't feel like it was about the show. He was opening up about like just people's expectations for him, how he has to almost put on for certain people. Yeah. And it kind of skewed away from, hey, I'm the lead on a dating show to like, I'm just a person struggling with this. And it was almost disorienting for a second. But then you really connected with Joey. And I think anyone watching that can relate to what he was saying, whether you've ever dated 30 people at the same time which no one else has. But it was a really unique opening, which I really enjoyed because we finally got to connect with Joey as an audience.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, through the one-on-one dates and everything like that, the girls get to open up to him, but he's never really opened up. But he just opened up to us. And so, it was kind of like the intro to the whole season with the whole Billie Eilish, not to an extent. That was obviously a preview, but it was that kind of vibe, like a little melancholy start to the episode. But it was good. He's a person too. So he was making it known.
Joey. All right. They're in Canada. They're speaking a lot of French. I did write the Jen out of field when she was talking about how she was.
I'm not wearing any underwear, but I don't know that one anymore.
So out of pocket when her direct quote was, when I was studying abroad, I learned how to say I'm not wearing underwear.
No, she said I only learned how how to say I'm not wearing any underwear. She said, I swear,
Jen!
she said, I only learned.
Down, girl. Don't say it. You don't have to say that. This is a television show.
Like, you know they're gonna put that in. You know that's gonna make
Yeah.
the final cut. Like your mom's watching probably.
Yeah. Jen, I feel protective over my wise gals. Jen, you don't have to say that. Don't say that on television. That was wild.
Jar.
Jar. They have this scavenger hunt date, which everyone seemed to be. Vibes were off. They hated that date. Worst date ever, I would say, of the season.
I don't know. It's just like if you're doing a group date, like a scavenger hunt. Right when they said that, I was like, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. It kind of reminded me of the one date of Zach's season in England when they went to like that pub. They were just drinking at the pub because Zach didn't show up. It was like that, but Joey was there. But it was still awkward and still just like weird. Like this is just the classic. You don't know what to do for a date, and they want a low budget date, so they just have you walk around the city.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It
Just
feels
weird.
like there's one group date a season where there's a clear divide on we know Joey has a connection with these people and he doesn't really have with these people. And then they're on a group date together where it's very clear who's going to stick around long term, who's not. And so the dynamic is very different. And I think moving forward now, he has a strong connection with everyone left. So
Yeah.
but there's always a transition episode where we get from I'm dating 30 women to I'm looking for my wife.
Yeah.
This was the transition episode, I think. But yeah, everyone is. I also go ahead.
I was gonna say I really saw that when they showed the final rose ceremony, and there was only 8 people out. I was like,
Whoa.
I
Here
was
we
like,
go.
this is serious now. Like Joey's got to lock
Buckle
in.
up. You better lock in, Joey. Things are getting real. Shit's happening. I think it's also Maria effect. I think Maria constantly brings the energy, good or bad, drama or not. Maria wasn't on that group date, and the vibes were low. Something to think about.
Don't hit.
Jen put up numbers though. Jen put up numbers on this date. You know, with the looks.
I wrote down the my exact words was the fuck is Jen poutine, French fries, pineapple, chocolate sauce. That was the exact note I wrote down. I was just like, what is she doing? It was kind of like a little attention seeking. Maybe she actually likes it like that, and she was trying to do that. But she knew that if she did something crazy making poutine, she was gonna get some attention. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't
that.
want to. This is gonna come across. You're gonna think I'm just sucking up to my team.
Always
Doesn't
you
sound
always do.
terrible. I always do, but like genuinely,
Then try.
I'd give it a shot. I
Then
like
you get
pineapple.
French fries, pineapple, chocolate sauce, all in one. Give it a go.
So I feel like chocolate and pineapple could go well together.
Think about the
fries are throwing
Think
me
about
off.
the temperature of. You'd have to do cold fries then. You'd have to do cold fries because hot fries
Yeah.
with cold pineapple or flip floppity flap flap. But yeah.
I don't know. I think it could be good.
Also on this group date, Kelsey A was complaining about not getting enough time with him when literally the last one-on-one that happened was her, right?
All right, just let her
I'm
go
just
through her emotions.
no, but can't you see that like that was just I don't know, and she was complaining about it to Caitlin, who hasn't had a one-on-one, and I was just
Yeah.
like, come on, like that's really like come on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'll validate your emotions, Kelsey, because you're on my team. I don't care what Michael says. You feel how you want to feel.
But
Michael doesn't care about your feelings. I do. That's fine.
From a third person perspective, Wyatt, just like understand how
It was.
how it was
Yeah.
portrayed on. Maybe it was just edit.
Speaking of Kelsey A, I want to draw attention. I don't know how closely you were paying attention to their conversation in the later half of the group date. Joey and her had a very I don't know the word to use, like sensual conversation. Joey used his whisper voice, and then she whispered that he would. So Kelsey whispered like I'm falling in love with you, and he like paused and said like, "Did you whisper that? Say it again."
I fall fast, and I definitely feel like I'm falling for you.
Did you just whisper that? Say it one more time.
But I'm falling for you.
I was like, "Whoa, Joey, whoa!" I didn't know how to feel about that. It was a strange moment for me. It felt like it was the first time I felt like we shouldn't be there, and I don't feel that much on this show. I felt like I should be watching
Got a
this,
room.
right? And I listened.
Say it again.
That's literally what he did. I was like, listen, as a straight man, despite what the comments might say on our TikTok, as a straight man, that was a hot conversation. It was a steamy conversation.
Yeah, no, he for sure wants to get her in fantasy suites. Don't blame him, but yeah.
He said, well, Kelsey also said, I don't want to feel in the background, and he said, like, you can't be.
Feel, wanted, and I don't want to just like feel like I'm just like in the background, like it's
You
so
don't
hard
deserve.
today.
Yeah. You don't deserve to ever feel like you're in the background. You can't be. It's impossible for you to be.
Like, you can't be in the background. If someone said that to me, that was great. That was a bar by Joey. He killed it. He turned his charm up to 1,000 for that conversation. And then Caitlyn had one of the quickest sit down to cry time of all time. Sat down, cry within 3 seconds. This is wild. And then we got our first inkling that Lexi might be having some second thoughts here when she approached him about timeline. How do we feel about his 2 to 3 year engagement, couple of years married, kids timeline?
One, that timeline makes sense for him, right?
Yes.
I think so. Numbers wise, doing mental math, right? That makes sense for him. When I knew that it wasn't, something was off, was when he said that to her. He said his timeline. She really didn't respond. Like, she really didn't say like, "Oh, that's good with me," or "Oh, no." And when she didn't respond, I was like, "Uh-oh, she does not fuck with that timeline," which you can tell because she's obviously 31 and she's already mentioned her like struggles and everything. So yeah, that was the start of the end.
Yeah. And speaking of the end, next up was Jess's conversation where again she claimed to be falling in love with Joey after not speaking to him for the last couple weeks. And Joey doesn't reciprocate. Reciprocate. Joey doesn't reciprocate it.
Talk about that the rest of the episode.
So Michael, who's your Joey Dawn? Who's your Joey Dawn of the week?
My Joey Dawn of the week. It's got to be Maria. She was just in Canada. She was in her own element today.
It makes too much sense, but Daisy still has a good chance, I think. Okay, we're done. I can't do it. Who's your twofer?
I feel like if I keep talking like that, I'm gonna get stuck talking like that. I'm gonna walk into work tomorrow. Like,
good morning,
hey guys. How you
doing? Okay, so he sends Jess home. Not shocking. I think this was going to be Jess's last episode, no matter what. I think she accelerated that again by saying those feelings. And I think this is what another good glimpse of how good of a guy Joey is. He genuinely felt terrible sending Jess home after she opened up to him, even though he very clearly did not have a connection with her. Yeah. But he still felt terrible knowing it was probably hard for her to open up, which, again, good guy Joey can't do anything wrong so far. That coin might be flipping here soon. Who knows? But yeah, sends Jess home. Not really shocking. And then Jen, my wise gal, ends up getting the group date rose there, which again, I think she had a very solid performance. So I wasn't very surprised by that, but obviously very glad.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that group date wasn't anything special, to be honest. Besides, I mean, Jess getting sent home, obviously kind of inevitable. Surprised she made it this long, like I said before, but glad to see that group date get over, to be honest.
It was a bad group date, just overall.
100%.
It's also because this was
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like they go to like kind of not random places. Like Montreal's not random, right? It's a big city. Mm-hmm. But I feel like if you're in Montreal. There's got to be some cool stuff to do, right? And the things you pick for the group dates, I don't know. I just feel like there's got to be. And then they pick Malta out of every place in the world. I don't know. And then the place they went in Spain was not like a known
Was
place.
it Madrid?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't Madrid, Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Barcelona. But like, I don't know. I was just like, what do we do in ABC? I know, and like, I saw the preview for next week. Well, I saw the first bit of it, and it was like in a random place in Canada. I'm like,
Was it at Aspen?
no, it was some.
Was that
No, it was some
Where
place.
is Aspen?
Aspen's in Colorado, dog. Oh my gosh, are you kidding
that
me?
was dumb. I just thought
Um,
that's what they said. Yeah, it's in
No, I
Colorado.
mean,
That was dumb.
yeah, yeah. But I was just like, that's another topic. I was just like, their travel budget is not
Yeah, they always go
what
to
it used
weird
to be.
places.
Yeah,
But yeah, again, I think Rachel said it on this episode. It's getting real to the point of, if you don't have a connection with Joey at this point, what are we doing? It's a transition episode. This is all right. We got to trim the fat, for lack of a better phrase, and get to the real connections. So we have to get through this episode. So it was a pretty low quality group date. Now we move on to our girl Kelsey T, your girl, Bailey's babe, aka Circles, her one-on-one. Circles going on the most circular one-on-one date in show history was just chef's kiss. That was fun to see. They do the Cirque du Soleil, the Circles de
crazy.
Soleil. Yeah, it was incredible. Love to see stuff work out like that. But Joey gets a little dizzy, gets a little nauseous, a little tummy ache.
I mean, does he not know like what he's doing before he goes on the dates?
He
Like,
has
honestly,
to know.
does he not run? Do the producers not run it by him? Because he hated that. You could tell he hated that date so much because
Mhm.
like of the. I mean, I get nauseated doing all those freaking things. Like that's got to affect how he's able to connect with Kelsey. I feel like Kelsey's at a disadvantage that she got that one-on-one date compared to, we'll talk about it later, but Maria's.
Yeah.
It's just 180.
But props to Kelsey for realizing Joey hated it. She basically said,
Yeah.
I know you you are not doing well right now, and I appreciate you sticking through it. So, and shout out to Joey for sticking through it. The big thing I want to talk about with Circles. Again, I apologize. I thought she was going to go home on this date. She clutched up, got the rose. She opened up about her dad and her lack of a relationship with her dad. And to be honest, I'm still confused. I needed like one more detail to really put the pieces together here.
I'll bet she just didn't want to like, she opened up, but there's probably more specifics that she just didn't want to share. And so she kind of
It's fair.
maybe either changed up the story a bit, or I don't know. It made me think that he was in a cult, because she was like,
It felt like a cult.
I went to college instead of joining the religion. And I'm like, joining the religion? What is going on? I imagine her dad's downstairs with a bunch of robes. Or like, is she Mormon? Is it something like that? Where like she didn't do like a missionary trip? That's what I'm thinking, maybe.
Oh, that's
Went to
a good
college
point.
instead of a missionary trip or something.
The college thing threw me off. So I thought it was a faith thing. Just like, oh, we like have different views on religion, which not normal, but like understandable. But then she said, I went to college and that's why he stopped talking to me. I was like, isn't that every dad's like dream? Yeah, go to school, like get educated, be successful. That was confusing to me.
Yeah, so I think it's got to be something like whatever religion he was doing didn't require an education, I guess.
Yeah. I wonder. I almost want her to go to hometowns so we can maybe get more clarity on that. There's no way.
I don't know if we'd meet her dad.
That would be insane.
He's just there and he's like, "Are you ready to join the religion, Joey?" He's like, and Joey's just like, "Wait, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, what faith? The religion?"
That's the crazy ending. Joey joins the religion at the end.
And he just joins the cult, and then the last rose is to Kelsey's dad. who's in a hood, and they're just branding him.
That's not to make light of this, obviously, but
Yeah.
the last rose is Kelsey T, and it's all been like a conversion thing to get Kelsey T to join the religion. And Joey's like, I've been a part of it the whole time. I'm in the religion. I just don't know what it is. Like,
He pulls off a
one.
face. It's Kelsey's dad is Joey.
Oh, that's too. Obviously, we're joking. Kelsey T, good for you for opening up. We don't quite understand what's happening there, but Circles has.
Yeah.
She's turned. I've come around on Kelsey. I like Circles. I would love to see the first ever circular Bachelor winner. That'd be cool. But again, I think it was more of I don't think it was a relationship rose that we have a very strong connection. I think it was, I respect you as a person. I think you're a very good person and you're worthy of love. Here's a rose. I think there's a difference between those two. And I think it was the latter.
I don't know. I mean, with this few people left, I don't think he would have given her that rose on the one-on-one unless he saw something, And
Fair.
I know she just opened up to him, and so maybe he kind of was like, I would be a bad guy if I didn't give you this rose.
Yes.
So that could have been part of it, but I don't know. Think about the people he sent home. Would he rather been on a one-on-one with Jess there? Probably not. Would he rather been on one-on-one with Leia? I don't know. They didn't really show. There wasn't really much there, or Caitlyn.
True.
Maybe I don't know. I think maybe he regrets picking Kelsey T instead of Caitlyn for a one-on-one. To be honest.
So every girl left has had a one-on-one, correct? I believe. Jen, Kelsey A, both Kelseys, Maria, Daisy, Rachel. Yeah.
Yes.
So every girl.
So
left
it's going to be the
one-on-one.
first double one-on-one or second.
Yes. Yeah. And so this last one-on-one, the shopping one-on-one with Maria. I think the best part of the season so far is just them in the backseat of that limo. That whole sequence.
Yes. Oh my god, the
is
chemistry was
everything. The chemistry is insane.
It's very hard.
Why? That's what she said.
Good one.
Thank you. C'est, voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
No, because I can tell it's a bad word. You're just going to get me in trouble in another language.
No, it's fine. C'est vous?
No, I'm not saying it until you tell me what it is. Oh. I would have said it. When I'm with Maria, we have fun. We laugh.
She's so funny. Like that's when I was just like, oh my god, like she's so like naturally like hilarious, but like just and I'm sure
I
like,
fell in love. I fell in
like,
love in that moment.
I was just like, there's probably so much more that they just couldn't fit in. They couldn't fit in. Like how often do they show that much of just like a ride to the one-on-one, like a ride to the date,
Yeah.
right? Like they never show that much of a backseat convo, but there was banter. You could tell Joey was actually like cracking up.
Yeah.
He was dying, and then she would like be like, she would like hit his inner thigh, and like when he like said something or something, and then she was like trying to get him to, say like sexual stuff in French and stuff.
She said that's what she said. She had a that's what she said moment. That was great.
Yeah. It was crazy. I really hope she's next Bachelorette.
She tricked Joey into saying "I love you," which is hilarious.
Yeah,
because they make a huge deal about the first time someone says "I love you" on this show, and she just tricked him into doing it. Maria is awesome. She is this show's. I'll say it now, and we'll do awards at the end of the season. She has to be the MVP of this season. There's really no other competition because without her, this season doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. They had to like the fact that earlier in the season with the whole drama, I guess not earlier, that's a couple weeks ago. Like that was started from something so minuscule. It was because Maria was in it. Yeah. And then like Maria is just the light of the room whenever she walks in.
So Mike, are we applying? Because I think there's a good chance she's our Bachelorette.
Dude, it's just like I already booked all my flights for my Europe trip.
When are you going to Europe?
May, June, end of May, early June.
Okay, nice.
Oh yeah, so I'll be gone for like 3 weeks. There might not be a season. There might not be a season.
It might be Bachelorette season, but we'll figure it out.
It'll be. Yeah. But yeah,
what would you ditch your Europe trip for Maria's Bachelorette season?
I'd send in the application. I'll send in the application regardless. If I actually like,
I'll apply.
If they were like,
They're not
yes,
gonna let us because we talk about the show. Like we do this show.
oh, yeah, I've got faces. I'm freaking Arya Stark. You know, I've got.
Yeah, I can't really
mean
hide from this.
faces.
You have a better chance than me. I can't really hide. Like this is more.
I'll just shave my beard. They'll have no idea.
They will. Yeah.
But then they'll be like,
well, you shouldn't have got the
"Who's
new
this
mic. You
kindergarten?"
shouldn't have got the new mic. Now you sound different, and they're like, "Oh, this is your real voice."
Oh, they'd be like, "Oh, this is your real voice." Oh yeah, you don't think I could put on a fake voice?
Oh, you Maria-
think I could put on a fake voice?
Do the lift.
Yeah, I don't think I could put on a fake voice.
Yeah, well, we should. I want to look at. I've never actually looked at the application process, so that would be a funny little bit we could do. Of course,
It's a lot of questions, dude. It's so many questions. It's ridiculous amount of questions. It's kind of ridiculous.
If someone wants to fill that out for us, that'd be great.
I mean, hey, they say nominate your nominate people you know.
Nominate us.
Nominate us.
Yeah.
Do double seasons of The Bachelor of the BachMakers as The Bachelor. Yo. There's been 2 Bachelorettes, but have there ever been 2 Bachelors who are BachMakers?
And we do recap shows after like the dates.
And we're just like, after the episode, we're like, man, I don't know. I think this chick's gonna go far, and she's just like, over there.
Honestly, I think Catherine might go home. Who's your twofer? Who you going home?
He's twofer. Man, I don't know.
My cringe of the week was when Becca tried to kiss me.
Yeah, that shit was whack.
She was whack.
She thinks she could just kiss me whenever. Like, god damn,
cringe. Yeah, again, we'll look into the nomination process. Maybe we can nominate each other. That'd be funny. All right, Maria's date. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, no. We can do it later.
Okay.
Like,
Maria's date. She had the shopping date where they get a bunch of dresses, all that stuff. This is like a staple for the show at this point. It happens once a season.
Which,
and then
I'd like to point out, Rachel Kirkconnell got it on Matt James' season. I remember that distinctively.
It's true. That's true. And Susie got it on Clayton's season.
But it wasn't also shopping. She only just picked out a dress and wore it to the date.
Yeah.
She didn't get multiple bags and stuff.
True. She didn't do the montage where she walks in with all the bags and all the girls are jealous.
Yeah.
Maria kind of opens up to Joey and says, "Hey, I think I'm falling. I'm falling for you." Gets the rose there. Nothing. Pretty straightforward date. Again, Maria, it's pretty awesome. I do, however, I have kind of a rogue theory with Maria. Maria kind of opened up about just being honest and saying, like, I don't want someone to say one thing and go back on their word again, similar to her last situation where she was expecting an engagement and it didn't happen. That feels like a foreshadowing where she's expecting an engagement and it doesn't happen. And that is our Bachelorette arc, people. The writing is on the wall. I see it. This is the first time I saw it.
No, I totally agree with that. But at the same time, not one age, 29. You can't get that. I think it works, but it's close. It's cutting it. It's cutting it close.
Maybe.
But she looks younger than 29, I would say. Yeah. 2, I think some people are like, Maria's too like here for a good time, here for fun. That's where I think she's got to like be very adamant about like wanting a husband and knowing the final destination, which I think she is at that point with Joey. We saw that in the 101, but I don't know. She doesn't seem like that like marriage oriented, which she actually did that dinner date I think really helped her. But we'll see going forward. I think these next couple of weeks are crucial for Maria's Bachelorette arc.
Yes. I think we're going to see that out of Maria the next couple of weeks. There's no more drama. It's just her and Joey. I think we're going to see a different side of Maria, a good side of Maria. So again, we're hoping for it. We would love a Maria Bachelorette season, or we would love for her to end up with Joey. But I think we both agree.
Yeah.
It's Daisy's to lose. She's running away with it. It feels like. She's so comfortable, almost too comfortable. Maybe
I don't know.
Something weird's gonna happen. We'll see, but I wouldn't put money on Maria winning at this point. I would I think she's way more likely to be Bachelorette than she is to win. I'll say that. All right, the only other thing from this episode before the final rose ceremony is Lexi's self-elimination. Very sad breakup. She opens up about her timelines just not lining up with Joey's timeline. I did kind of point out, kind of tongue-in-cheek, this is the first time someone's ever eliminated or been eliminated because the timeline is too slow. When the biggest criticism of this show is the timeline's way too fast. So there's just an interesting wrinkle there. But obviously it makes a ton of sense, Lexi. And I give her props for kind of just sticking to it, saying, hey, this is me. This is where my timeline is at. And if it doesn't meet that, I don't care how strong our connection is. I have to do right by me and what I want. So props to her. I give her a ton of credit for doing that. And Joey was pretty worked up about it, but he said I could see a future with Lexi. I don't know how much I really believe that. I think he wanted to see more from her, and he wasn't going to send her home or anything. But I think she was a little bit behind some of the other girls.
I think he really wish Lexi was 27, 28.
Yeah. Yeah, which sucks to say, but probably true.
I think he really liked her personality. He could definitely see a thing, and I think she would definitely have gotten a rose tonight. I think she would have.
Oh, 100%. 100% would have gotten a rose. And speaking of who didn't get a rose, we say goodbye to our radio chemist and our Princess Leia, which not really surprised, but Princess Leia, after getting the first impression rose, fall from grace.
All downhill from there. Similar to Greer, got the first impression rose, downhill from there. The uncanny.
The parallels are there, 100%. Now is Mike going to slide in DMs now?
Probably.
Jury's still out. Probably.
I did notice after last Monday's episode, Leia was posting on TikTok kind of frequently. I don't think she's posted on TikTok since. And her most recent post, all of the comments are kind of shitting on her. And they're kind of really tough. They're kind of really, really tough. And I'm sure they're even worse now. People are probably went on there to, you got out. So that's tough. That's a no. But yeah, it's tough to see Leia go. Mainly because she got that card night one. She could have stolen any of the dates. She made the right decision, which we talked about after the first episode. Mm-hmm. She was in a lose-lose scenario. That is a lose-lose scenario. Because now
win-win.
But I think it's also, hindsight 2020, I think it's lose-lose because it's
fair.
If she kept it, she would have not only automatically been a villain / had a target on her back. But then when, let's say hypothetically she kept it and she stole Kelsey's one-on-one, Kelsey T's, right? And they go on the date. He's probably got to think gosh, that's kind of mean. That's mean.
I didn't want to go on the date with you. Yeah, so it's such a weird. Again, that card is so dumb. That card is so dumb.
I picked Kelsey T, but you I don't know, because then he could still just at the one-on-one date not give her the rose.
Yeah,
and then it's no matter what that card. Yeah,
the logistics of it made no sense. How would that have worked? Her stealing a one-on-one.
If anything, they should have implemented that card later on in the season, just a little bit later.
Yeah, that would have made more sense.
Yeah.
All right. Before we do twofers, I think we have a clear top 3 right now, and you can tell me if you disagree. Daisy, Maria, Jen. I think Jen's above Kelsey A.
I don't know. Right now, Jen and Kelsey are tied for me.
Okay, but those are your 4, probably.
Yeah, for sure 4. But I don't know. Right now, I don't know. Whenever he talks about Kelsey A, he always talks about it in such a positive light. Where I'm just God, she's sneaking by, but she hasn't had any down. She hasn't had any turbulence.
I also, every time I think of Jen, I feel like she's younger than she is. I always think of Jen as being she's 25. Like, I don't think
mean,
that's too young.
Dude, I know, but dude,
So-
that's like a year older than us, bro. Like,
Yeah, dude, we're old
pretty
as
young.
shit. It's pretty young. We're also old as shit now. But like I picture it for some reason in my head, she's 23. She's Leia, because Leia's 23.
Yeah, it's
So
because a lot of people were mixing her up.
Yeah.
Mixing them
So
up.
I think I conflated that because my biggest not red flag, but concern for Jen potentially winning would be the age thing, which now that I think about it, I don't think is an issue. I
But-
don't think that would be an issue.
Kelsey is also 25, right? I believe 26.
Yeah, they're the same age.
And Daisy's 26.
Daisy's 25. They're all 25.
Wait,
Daisy's 25, Kelsey A's 25, and Jen's 25. Maria's 29.
29. Rachel's 26.
26, and then Kelsey T is the mama of the group. She's
30.
31.
But she does not look 31. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, so I don't think the age is an issue moving forward, to be honest. But we can preview next week. Twofers. Who you got? This is where it gets tough.
Yeah. I'm gonna say leaving us, Kelsey T. I just don't see it.
Circles.
I just don't see her making a hometown, especially with her dad being a cult. Staying. I mean, I could go layup and just do Daisy, but I'm not going to do that. That's not fun.
Mhm.
I'm gonna do Jen. I don't know. I'm so high on Jen these past couple weeks, where it's just like I'm kind of seeing the Bachelorette arc too. If Maria fumbles the bag, I could see Jen coming in and swooping that.
She'd be fun. I think
Yeah.
she has a lot of personality too.
Yeah,
I was thinking
100%.
instead of the like Taylor Swift heart hands, we should just do circles for Kelsey T every time. So if she gets eliminated next week, just we put up circles.
Put up circles.
Shout out circles.
And let's do a good on a good time Instagram. Do a circular post or something like that, and then tag her. Hopefully, I think she'd like it.
She likes it. I think she's very aware of the circles thing.
I mean, we did make her change her bio. I'm confident.
We definitely did. My twofer, I think Rachel's going home. She's gonna go back to Honolulu, Hawaii, because she says in the cool way. And then I think Kelsey A is gonna stay. Are we assuming 2 people are going home next week?
I mean, I doubt.
And then we go to
6
hometowns?
5. I doubt they go 6-5, 5-4. It's
Yeah.
probably 6-4.
So 2 are probably going home. Who's your hometowns prediction?
Jen, Maria, Daisy, Kelsey A.
I agree.
Right there.
Yeah, it's Daisy,
Right there.
Maria, and then the 2 wise gals, Jen and Kelsey A. I would be shocked. Lizzie, you want to give your hometown prediction real quick?
One of the biggest reasons why I was like, we're not starting over. Wise guys have a strong.
All right, Lizzie, do you concur?
I want to put Rachel in there
Where?
and take Jen out.
Bias.
Whoa.
Bias.
No,
Biased.
and it's not biased. Like, I genuinely don't know
Jen
about Jen.
Jen put on a
Genuine.
clinic this week.
Yeah, but just like you said, like last week, I think it was, like, the girls who like have the most airtime and like talk a lot, like in the previous episode, usually they go home the next week.
Yeah, but this was good airtime. This was airtime with Joey. It wasn't drama airtime.
Yeah.
I don't
That
know.
would be my argument there. But we'll see. We'll find out next week who's right, who's wrong.
I don't
That's
know.
the beauty of
Jen,
this show.
Jen's the one that taught them piano, right?
Yes.
Taught him piano. Yeah. I don't know.
I wouldn't call it teaching. There's no way.
Teaching because she didn't teach him the right chords.
Do you give Joey a piano right now? He doesn't remember shit. He doesn't remember shit.
Unless he ends up with Jen, he's just like a maestro out there.
Oh, and they're playing Heart and Soul. I fell in love with you, heart and soul.
All right,
I got
the
one that's like the double. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's all I got. You guys got anything else for this episode? No.
I do want to give a shout out. Daisy Cottage Cheese. It's an ad. I had to shout this out. I've seen this ad. This is probably the third or fourth episode I've seen this. How many times have you seen a cottage cheese ad?
Not very often.
Not very often. But the way they're picking spots in the Bachelor episodes, like after Daisy goes and talks to him, and then first commercial is a Daisy ad. It is genius marketing because I don't know what's the marketing budget for Daisy cottage cheese. It's got to be so low. I think they're putting their whole budget into Bachelor, which you don't need to advertise cottage cheese. I'm sure that's the only brand I think I know of cottage cheese.
I didn't even think about that. That's a very smart idea.
If she doesn't get a sponsorship from Daisy cottage cheese, I just don't, with how she's growing on TikTok too. She's a sponsor. She's
what
doing
if
a
she
commercial.
hates it? What if she hates cottage cheese?
She doesn't hate money, probably.
Doesn't matter. Don't hate money.
It's fair. I don't ever remember seeing the Daisy cottage cheese ads, but like I always remember the Daisy sour cream.
Well,
like, do you remember that jingle? Like the do a dollop, do a dollop.
Oh, the do a dollop. Yeah. Do a dollop. Do a dollop of Daisy.
Yeah. But
I don't pay attention during the commercials right now.
I think the commercials, I pay attention all the time. I think some of them, how they're doing it with previous, like the one wine commercial and shit with that one old Bachelor people, Serena P.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of
Red.
A lot of integrations there. But all right, we'll leave it there. Michael and I we will be seeing each other this weekend, so maybe we'll have some more content to talk about. We got a little ski trip going on, so that could be interesting. We'll see, but we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Thanks for watching, and next week we'll be getting ready for hometowns by this time next week. That's crazy. So thanks for watching. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, all that. If you're listening to us, 5-star reviews, only 5 stars. If you hate us, just don't listen. You don't have to do the 1-star thing. But if you're listening this far, you can't hate us that much. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening, watching. Love you guys. Peace.